Good evening, basses. Great to see you. Thanks for being here, and I hope you're having a good week so far. Well, it's very nearly time for us to learn this wonderful pair of solo numbers and the Rex Tremendae as well. And of all the parts that I've been teaching this week, I've been looking forward to the bass, perhaps most of all. No offence to anybody else, but as I'm fond of saying, I am a bass. I've sung these solos, and it's just so much fun. This Tuba Mirum it's an absolutely essential piece of singing for any bass, really. It's got that massively long note. It's got a bottom F. You don't get bass solos like this. So those of you that are here specifically to sing that well, I'm sure you're looking forward to it. I certainly am. And of course, there are many other, as we call them, errant parts here as well. So I spot Judith is here. I think you were here almost first. But Dave was here first. Hello to Dave. Hope you're having a good day. Hello to Jill as well. And Dave has a question. A question on pronunciation. Should it be Donna with a long O? Is that Donna or a short O as in Donna? Kind of a cross between the two, Dave. If we could have a tall O sound, okay, like orange, but then extend it so it's Donna. Donna Ace. Okay? It's not Donna. For which you carry a card. It's not a Donna like a kebab or a Donna. I went to school with lots of Donnas. It's a Donna, okay? Donna Ace Domine. Nice tall sounds all the way through. And if in doubt, just stretch the long sound. That would be my advice. All right. So fantastic. And wasn't Verdi yesterday with Harry amazing? It really was. It was so lovely to see Harry so completely involved with the music. I have no idea what that's like, obviously. And if you believe that, go and watch the last few rehearsals of Messiah and then come back, because no, I was there with him, and I have to admit to a tiny smidgen, just a tiny little bit of envy, because I haven't conducted my Verdi Requiem yet. So one day, I thought it was brilliant, and well done, Harry. If you're watching this, well done, brilliant job. Now, so hello to Judith, errant soprano in the back of the room. I hope you're having a good day. And hello to Suzanne, great to see you. And hello to Dennis, Chicago DePaul Community Chorus. Oh, that's fantastic. You're very welcome, Dennis, and I'm glad you're enjoying SIC. Fabulous. And there's Diane and George. Hello, folks. Hope you're having a good day as well. Bass and errant soprano too. Yeah, I hope you've got your. Hope everyone's got their big lungs in today, because that first phrase in Tuba Mirum, that's a big one. We're going to look at how to take a huge tank full of air. Be one of the first things we do. But lots and lots of fun to be had. Excellent. So lots of people. Hello, Mark. Hope you're having a good day. We're very busy at the moment, aren't we, Mr. Strawn? Goodness me, what a lot going on. And Ralph is doing an amazing job with ABBA. And Anna and I really enjoyed his rehearsal earlier on. I was absolutely singing along at pitch. So if you're not involved with the ABBA, have a look at what they've been doing. It's so much fun, and Ralph is so engaging and so lovely. It's spending an afternoon with a dear friend is how I think of it. It's marvellous. So so all just jumped. Let me see if I can catch up with a few people. So hello to Michael, great to see you again. Hope all's well with you, sir. And hello to Michael Cole. Hello, especially basses. As a newcomer as a bass to this music, I'm finding it very difficult, but absolutely beautiful. I think that's the best description of the Mozart Requiem from a bass point of view. It is difficult music, Michael, no doubt, but it is wonderful. And if you can just persevere with it, it will reward you. Every time you sing the Mozart Requiem from this point on, it'll be better. And that's if you sing it 10 times between now and when we sing it, well, you'll be 10 times better by the time you sing it through with us at the end of the course. But I'm just so glad you're enjoying it. Thanks so much for coming along. Fabulous. Hello to Rob, gate crashing tenor. It's great to see you, Rob. And hope you're having a good week as well. Fantastic. George is going to sit with Dennis. Fantastic. Isn't that lovely? Only in the self-isolation choir could somebody in Chicago sit next to somebody in Mineola in New York State. And it's just like we're in the same room. Absolutely wonderful. Hello to Albert. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Albert. Happy birthday to you. Many happy returns, sir. Good to see you. Hello to Roger from Stockwell. Great to see you, sir. Hello to... Who's here? Hello to Andrew. Andrew says he's looking forward to singing his head off this evening. Well, you know, the normal health and safety guides notwithstanding, well, I do hope you enjoy yourself tonight, Andrew. And yeah, let's see if we can keep the head at least mostly attached. Maybe just shake it loose a bit. All right, there's plenty to shake loose tonight with the Tuba Mirum and the Rex Tremendae. It's going to be a really, really good shout. So good to see you. Let's see if we can keep our heads attached. Save singing your head off for the concert. All right. Brilliant stuff. Bonsoir, Suzanne. Yes, the heating, thankfully, is fixed. It turned out, for those who are in any way interested, and that's probably about 2 people, it was a problem with the thermostat, as it turns out. And we had people digging around in the pipes and trying all sorts of things. It turns out the little box, the brain of the operation, had completely given up. And so we have a brand new thermostat, which has got all sorts of lights and buttons on. And it's just been lovely for walking up and sort of feeling a little bit warm, turning it down, turning it back up again. It's lovely. So it's so nice to have the heating back. Gosh. So, thank you for that. Hey, Ben, I was first. Were you, Mark? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mark. My sincere apologies. So you set the chairs out, did you? Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Hello to Mike Newman. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Hello to Fred as well. Hi, Fred. Hello, gents. Hope all's well. Hello to Dave Granger. Hi, Dave. And Steve. Oh, wow. Steve says, my late father, a Methodist minister, used to have these words in front of him as he sat at his desk. Querens me sedisti lasus, redemisti crucem passus, tantus laba non sed casus. Wow, that must have been quite something. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well, to sing those words in this context, that must be very, very powerful. And thank you for sharing that. Fantastic. Hello to Catherine. Errant altos after the ABBA session. I'm amazed that we've got any altos here after that ABBA session. I'd imagine you're exhausted. Fantastic. So hello to Dave from Leytonstone. Great to see you. And we jumped again. Hello to Barry. Barry's got off the rowing machine. Oh, you should be feeling good and virtuous. I managed a nice long walk this morning, 2.5 miles. And have managed, and this is without conducting so far, 7,247 steps, which is all right. And let's see how many steps I managed at the end of rehearsal. I'm averaging about 3,000 steps per hour of conducting. Let's see if we can beat that tonight. And remember, don't tell Dr. Glyn Jones, because he's challenged me to see how many steps we can both do. It turns out conducting counts as steps, so shh, don't tell him. Hello to John. Oh, John says, I need some choral music to relieve the stress from last week. Just lots and lots of love to everybody in the States. We're all thinking of you. And I'm glad to see all is well in California. That's fantastic. Hello to Gary as well. Brilliant. Hello to Nancy and Stu. Hello to Robert. Hello. Happy New Year, Robert. Hello to Morrig and Fiona. Great to see you. And Dave from Frozen Middlesbrough. You've just finished watching Amadeus. It adds to the experience. It's not accurate, no, but it's good fun. It's good fun, isn't it? George says, just what you needed, Ben, a techie thermostat. Absolutely. My only the only thing I'm slightly disappointed by is I can't control it with Siri, although that's probably for the best. You know, say, Siri, turn off the heating. Turning the heating up. Turn it down. Turning it up full. I mean, that's exactly what would happen, wouldn't it? So, yeah, John just said, do you have the thermostat app? Sadly not. It doesn't have an app, but it's fine. It's a significant improvement on the last one in that it works. So, hello to Mr. Jantios from London. Fantastic. Wonderful stuff. So, look, as just have a bit of a chat. I just have to double check my sound settings and so on. Good, piano works. Let's check a bit of tuba, since that's what we're all here for. But we're going to have some fun with this one, basses.
Tuba Mirum spargens sonum.
It's just such an iconic bass line, isn't it? And I always love singing it, particularly in front of a choir that I know. because you always get this you feel all the basses willing you along on this bottom note. It's a wonderful feeling as a soloist, to to feel the entire bass section. Come on, you can do it, yes, when you get to the end. And I think I shared with you the story. Oh dear. So I conducted the Mozart Requiem. The bass soloist didn't turn up. I think I told you this on Monday. And so I had to turn around and sing. We got to the end of the Dies Irae, with that amazing Conta stricte stricte discursus. And I sat the choir down, and I turned round, and the organ started, and I took a huge breath, and I sang Tuba. And by the time I was halfway through the tuba, I thought, I'm not going to get to the end of this without taking a breath. What am I going to do? Because my heart was pounding. I'd been working hard. And so I just had to go into full economy mode. And we'll talk about that in a little moment. But that low B flat was incredibly quiet. And I had to sort of eke the air out. And I just about made it to the end. It was a very quiet, like that. Using the very, very last molecules of air in my lungs. It's a little bit like the military, when they take off in a helicopter, there's a fuel reserve they're not allowed to use unless it's a war. And it was very much, I broke into the war reserve at that point to get the very, very last scrap of oxygen. I mean, my vision was sort of coming in just at the end. Oh dear. So nothing like that's going to happen to us tonight. We're not going to be jumping around before we sing this solo. We're going to talk about how to take a huge tankful of air and get all the way through it and hopefully have air to spare. That's the plan tonight. Well, look, since there's so many lovely people here and it's pretty much time to start, why don't we get started? So it is lovely to see you all. Thank you for your splendid comments. And if I haven't had a chance to say hello to you yet, well, it's lovely to see you. And hello to Peter and to Guy. Hello, Guy, and Hugh. Fantastic. So please do keep chatting, basses, and any errant sopranos, altos, tenors who want to come in and have a chat as we go, you're more than welcome to. But we will be getting started in a few seconds. So if I can invite everybody to please make sure they've got their drinks handy. We're going to go full screen, and if you could help me, please. You've got to make the sound and wiggle the fingers, otherwise I can't change screen. Here we go. Thank you very much indeed. You're all experts at that by now. So welcome everybody to our Mozart Requiem rehearsal. I'd just like to start by just saying I thought the Verdi Requiem that was on yesterday was absolutely brilliant. I just want to pass on my congratulations to Harry and everyone who's involved in that amazing recording. And of course, it's going to be phenomenal to hear you all singing that. So those of you on the Requiems course, get started. Can't wait to hear it all come together. Now, we're here tonight, of course, to look at another Requiem, this wonderful, wonderful work by Mozart. And tonight, well, it's a brilliant bass night because we've got some of the best bass lines ever written tonight. For the most part, this Tuba Mirum solo, it's very, very short, but as I've just been saying, it's iconic. It's one of the bass solos that you learn when you become a singer. So we'll be singing that all the way through. We'll be looking at Rex Tremendae, or as Mark has been calling it, Rex Harrison, in an attempt to make me giggle. And for the most part, it's worked. And we'll also look at Recordare, which is another lovely solo movement. And of course, as I've been saying all week, one of the advantages for this wonderful isolation choir is that, well, you can sing the solos as well as the chorus parts. So hope you enjoy tonight. So what we're going to do, everybody, to begin with, we'll warm up. If I can invite you all to stand up, thank you very much. That'd be great. And just plant your feet as shoulders width apart, please, everybody. Thank you. I'm just going to make sure my phone is on site. Just refocus. Hopefully it's all right. Seems to be okay here. Okay, marvellous. So if we're standing, that's great. If you could plant your feet as shoulders width apart, thank you. Make your knees nice and soft. And for those of you who aren't able to stand, stay for whatever reason, please don't worry about it, but give yourself a straight back and a long neck wherever you are. And we'll take a really deep breath in, please, basses. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lovely. And breathe in again. And breathe out. Splendid. Now, what we're actually going to do before we start singing tonight, basses, is actually we're going to go into a little bit more depth in terms of breath control than we normally would, because the first thing I'm going to ask you to sing is a very, very, very long phrase where you're not supposed to take a breath. Now, having said that, if you need to breathe, of course, breathe when you need to, but I'm going to teach you begin to teach you a breathing technique which may help taking in a huge tank full of air. So this is a multi-step process, and this takes practice. So don't think you're going to get it first time necessarily. In order to take the full tank full of air that you need to get through the Tuba Mirum, you're going to need to relax your abdominal muscles. And as you breathe in, I'm going to ask you to see if you can relax your abdomen so that as you breathe in, your belly, your tummy comes out. Okay, now a lot of choristers, and to be honest, most people, if you ask them to take a deep breath, they breathe in and their tummies come in and the shoulders come up like that. Okay, and as they breathe out, it comes down the other way. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of you out there going, well, that's how we're supposed to breathe. That's how people breathe. In actual fact, when you breathe for singing and when you're asleep, because your body takes over automatically, it's the other way round. When you breathe in, your stomach comes out, your shoulders stay where they are. And when you breathe out, your stomach comes in. Okay, if you think about it, it's like, imagine like a bagpipe. Inside your lungs are the bag. As you breathe in, they expand, and your stomach expands, or your abdomen, I should say, expands out, and your shoulders stay where they are. It's important to do that because that means you get the full lungs rather than only half, which is what happens when you pull your diaphragm in. So the process that I'm going to ask you to practice for me is as follows, and please don't try this yet. Let me just very quickly explain. So the first thing we're going to do in order to take this deep breath in is to open our mouth nice and tall. All right, don't necessarily do this now. I'll talk you through the process. You open your mouth nice and tall. The next thing you do is you breathe out, okay, all of the air in your lungs, every last scrap. Please don't do this right now, just let me explain. So you get rid of all of your air. As you're doing that, as you're breathing out, you use your stomach muscles and you pull your abdomen in like you're doing an ab crunch. So you're pulling your stomach in whilst you're breathing out. Okay, please don't do this while I'm talking because it's going to take a while for me to explain it. So far you've opened your mouth, you've breathed all of your air out, and you are pulling your abdomen in. Okay, that creates tension in your abdomen and you've got empty lungs. Okay, now this is the most important part of the process, and this is the bit that people struggle with. So please don't worry about doing this right now. But what you've got to do is you've got to hold your lungs empty. So don't allow yourself to breathe in. It's only going to be for a fraction of a second. So don't worry, you'll be breathing in a moment. Then you relax your abdomen muscles. So you sort of let it fall forwards. Okay, and I know we don't want to look like we've got a belly, everybody. Some people have got a six-pack. Other people, like me, are blessed with a keg, okay? There's no modesty in singing, so don't worry about it. And certainly in an isolation choir, you can just let your belly fall forwards, okay? It's sort of like taking from your car from in gear to neutral. There's a clunk. So far, we've opened our mouth nice and tall. We've breathed all our air out and pulled the abdomen in, holding your mouth open, and holding your lungs empty. Don't take any air in. You relax your abdomen, still with the mouth open, and then you breathe in. So let me talk you through that process one more time and then give it a go with me. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take a breath. We're going to open our mouth. You breathe all your air out whilst pulling your abdomen in. Okay, holding your lungs empty, relax the abdomen, mouth open, and breathe in. And what you should feel is that the keg should expand, all right? Put your hand on your belly for me, everybody, okay? And this isn't just for bass, this is for everybody. Hand on the tummy, okay? Breathe out and push and pull all that area, pull your abdomen in as you breathe out. Open your mouth, relax your abdomen, and then breathe. And what you end up with is a huge, big belly. And it's not beer, it's not food. It's your lungs at full capacity, okay? Try that little exercise for me, basses. And anyone who's watching, this is how you take a big tank full of air in order to be able to get through the Tuba Mirum, all right? So that is, we haven't done that with any of the other sections, but basses, I really feel that would be useful for you to practice in order to get through this. Now, before we actually approach the Tuba Mirum, let's do a very quick bit of a vocal warm-up. So we're just going to sing ya, ya, ya with me. Ya, 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 and ya, ya, ya with me. Ya, 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 and again. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. Mama, ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. Fantastic. Okay, notice on the higher notes it helps to smile with your eyes, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. In fact, why don't we get started, basses? I've done a lot of waffling. It's time to sing. And lots of people... Judith says, I think I prefer the keg to being pregnant. Fantastic. So, everybody, let's start with the Tuba Mirum, please. And, well, I've talked it up enough. It's time to have a look at it. So, the Tuba Mirum is basically the trumpet shall sound and the dead shall be raised, okay? And I know that it's got the trombone at the start. Just a little aside. The trombone, when Mozart was writing for it, was not an orchestral instrument. Okay, at the time when Mozart wrote it, it was purely an instrument to be used in church. It was a sacred instrument. How about that? Okay, the trombone, a sacred instrument. It wasn't until Beethoven and subsequent composers that it became part of the orchestra. So here it's being used as a holy instrument. There we are. Any brass players in the choir will back me up on that. So the trombone plays our line, basses, that goes... Okay, and it plays the tonic, the dominant, and then this arpeggio all the way down to the B flat. Okay, now you need to hold that low note for 10 beats. Okay, and what I'm going to suggest to you, and this is just advice that I've been given and has helped me, when you get down to that low note, take the dynamic right back. Okay, you don't need to sing the low note loudly at all, because the orchestra and the trombone is playing over you. You become decoration for those 10 beats, and then at the very end, because it's Mozart, because he wants to make sure that we're all awake, he gives you a little twiddle as well. And in fact, Ben, who's our soloist, gives us even more of a twiddle because in the nicest possible way, he's showing off a bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to sing this, and we're going to see how it goes. So I'm going to sing it for you. I'm going to take a huge tankful of air, and it should sound something like this. So I'm going to practice that breathing technique that I spoke to you about. I'm going to get rid of all of my air. Taking a huge tankful. And it is... Tuba mirum spagen so. So if you take that tank full of air, there's nothing can stop you. The entire audience, the orchestra, the conductor will be waiting for you to finish. Yeah, there's nothing to hold you back. Let's give it a go, okay? If you ever wanted proof that practice technique works, well, there you are, okay? So let's give it a go, basses. Remember, don't oversing that low note. When you get down to it, pull the dynamic back, and then enjoy the little twiddle at the very, very end. Okay, here's the introduction. So we're going to take that deep breath, open your mouth, breathe out all your air, pull that in. Okay, let your belly fall forward, take a huge breath. Here we go, and... Tuba mirum spagen so. Thank you, basses. Well done. Mozart knows that we've worked hard, so he gives us a full bar to catch our breath. And what I would suggest you do is use every single ounce of that bar, because in all seriousness, having got that phrase out, your body will need to breathe, but you've still got more singing to do. So as soon as that next line starts, you drop your jaw, you take that same breath as you did for the start. Okay, even though the phrase isn't as long, you'll need more oxygen. Okay, now carrying on, we sing 2, 3, 4. It goes. Tuba Mirum spargen sonum. Listen to that just on the piano. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Let's sing that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuba mirum spargen sonum. One more time with me, basses, please. 2, 3, 4. Tuba mirum spargen sonum. Lovely. Now, Mozart, because he's using us at this point like a brass instrument, we then start jumping around, and particularly some nice, strong octave leaps, which is why we did octaves during our warm-up today. We then sing Per sepulchra. Now, notice I'm dropping my jaw on that ah sound. In order to activate the low bass notes, drop jaw. Okay, per sepulchra, 2, 3. Per sepulchra. Good, then it's regionum. 1, 2, 3. Regionum. Excellent. And then, really, the climax of this opening bit is Cogit omnes antetronum. Okay, now that's a really, really hard thing to do if you've never done it before. So listen to it. Okay, now I'll play it at your pitch. Okay, it's almost like a conversation between a second and first bass. So let's sing it slowly. 2, 3. Cogit omnes antetronum. Okay, it's always helped me on the high notes to make sure that I am still smiling with my eyes. Okay, I know it sounds a bit daft, but it really does allow you to access those upper notes without scooping and without over singing. Okay, so we've got one more phrase to do. It's my favourite one because it ends on a bottom F, which you never get in solos. Okay, so the last one is 2, 3. Cogit omnes. Sorry, my fault. 2, 3. Cogit omnes antetronum. Okay, and you notice it helps to frown on the very last note because it's really low and really, really, really raucous. Okay, let's sing Cogit omnes, the last one. 2, 3. Cogit omnes antetronum. Lovely. Okay, basses. So that's the opening solo. Let's sing it all the way through from there. Okay, so let's give it a go. Open your mouth nice and tall. Breathe out all that air. Pull in your abdomen. Okay, taking a huge tank full. Here we go. And Tuba mirum spargen sonum. Deep breath. Tuba mirum spargen sonum per sepulchra regionum cogit omnes antetronum cogit omnes antetronum. Thank you, basses. Well done. I've been looking forward to teaching that for about 6 months. Fab. Now, what follows? The tenors take over at that point, and given that we've been quite trombone-like in our singing, the tenors come in and they're like a trumpet up high. All right. Then the alto comes in on the next page. And it's like a clarinet line, which in itself is like a little trumpet. Da, 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 da. And then finally the soprano at the bottom of the next page is a flute or an oboe over the top. Really, really lovely. Now, over the page onto the final page of the movement, you'll see at letter D, we're back in, but we're marked sotto voce, okay, under the voice, very, very gentle, and so don't oversing. And I know we're coming in on a top D here basis, which is high. It's at the very top end of our range, but you've got to sing it like this. Cum vix justus. Okay, it's not a big cum vix. Yeah, we don't want a big Verdian sound here. We want a very gentle cum vix justus. 3, 4, justus. Okay, so just listen to those pitches from D, 3, 4. Cum vix justus. 3, 4, justus. All right, let's sing that together, please, from D. For anyone else who's here, soprano, there's your note. Alto, tenore, and bass. So from D, 2, 3, 4. Cum vix justus. Justus. Well done. And then we sing Sit securus. Sing that for me, please. And 1, Sit securus. Excellent job. Thank you, basses. Now your next note is forte, and then the one that follows is piano. So the cum sort of comes out of nowhere, so to speak. So we get this cum fix justus. Okay, sing that for me. And 1, cum fix justus. And then fix justus sit securus. All right, let's sing that together, please, basses. Fix justus. 2, 3. Fix justus sit securus. And then this lovely, lovely chord that resolves. Brilliant. So that's that movement there, basses. Let's sing it all the way through with Ben from the Fieri Consort. All right, so let's get ourselves ready. You've got to get into the mindset for this. Okay, the most important part of that deep breath is the relaxation of the abdomen, so that as you breathe in, you can expand. And if you're finding this tricky, can I just suggest to you, basses, next time you're lying flat on your back, okay, probably in bed later on or on the sofa later on this evening, lie flat on your back, put your hand on your abdomen, open your mouth nice and wide, and take deep breaths in, and just notice what happens to your abdomen as you breathe in when you're lying prone. Because your body should take over and you'll find that you're able to take those breaths. It's then just a matter of replicating that when you stand. Okay? So let's have some fun. So there's your note, and here is the recording. Take it away, Ben and Richard. Okay. Huge breath. And
Tuba Mirum spargens
done. Then we sing.
Tuba mirum spargens sonum per sepulchra regionum cogit omnes ante thronum cogit omnes ante thronum.
Well done. Tenors, I hope you're singing. The altos and Okay, here come the sopranos. Okay, ready, basses? Here we go. And
Cum vix Justus, Justus. Sit secor.
now loud here.
Cum vix Justus, vix
Now crescendo.
Sit securus.
Well done, everybody. Masterfully sung and played by our wonderful, wonderful musicians. And you know, the Ben's tone is so good. Proper second bass. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Well, let's move swiftly on. I spent a long time on that movement, more than I did with the others, but basses we had by far the most work to do on that. So let's go swiftly on to Rex Tremendae, please. And Rex Tremendae is a short movement for the chorus. It's a huge, grand sing. I mean, Rex Tremendae Majestatis, you know, tremendous, majestic king. You know, the choir is singing to God, and at the very end we come back from that majestic Handelian sort of sound to a much more plaintive, much more Mozartian sound with the Salva me fons pietatis, save me, O font of mercy. So we've got two different styles to sing in this one. So to begin with, we've got this very Mozartian, very Handelian, I should say, double dotted bum da dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum jump. Okay, now we come in on the tonic note of the chord. It's Rex. Okay, now I need you to roll your R's. I need you to put the E of X exactly on the beat. So it's going to be 1 Rex. Try that for me. And 1 Rex. Excellent. Make sure the E of Rex is exactly on the beat. Thank you. So the first one is there. The next one is there. And then the next one is there. So we get 1 Rex, 3 and 4 and 1 and Rex, 3 and 4 and 1 and Rex. All right, let's give that a go. Now I know the top E flat. I know it's a big sound, so don't sing up to it. All right, don't go Rex and lead with the chin. Okay, allow the sound well, first of all, make sure your back is nice and straight. Make sure you've taken a huge breath. You've got a full bar there. Use one of the deep breaths I taught you for Tuba Mirum and allow the sound to resonate in here, okay, behind your eyes. Rex. All right, that should help let that note out. And remember, it's a big sound, so enjoy it. And then the second one is at a C, which is a third lower. Let's sing those three together, please, basses. From the first one, this is from the third bar of Rex Tremendae. Are we ready? Nice deep breath. 3 and 4 and 1 and Rex. And Rex. Rex. Thank you very much indeed, basses. Well done. It does actually help to have a little bit of tension in the forehead here, just for the intensity of the sound. See how you get on. Then at letter U, Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Maje, please, with a Y rather than a J. And we sing 1 Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Sing that for me from you, and a 1 and Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Very good. Thank you, basses. Notice it's really very, very insistent, very well articulated. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Yeah, very strong, very confident there. Thank you. So we're now 3 after you. Qui salvandos salvas gratis. And what you get here is conversations then springing up between the sopranos and altos and the tenors and the basses, and then halfway through they swap round. So to begin with, the tenors start off with qui salvandos. You then sing qui salvandos for 1, salvas gratis for 1, salvas gratis. Okay, so let's just sing that one more time. This is from Qui Salvandos, last bar on page 25 in my score. 3 after you. 3, 4. Qui Salvandos for 1, salvas gratis for 1, salvas gratis. All right, so you can hear that that's a pattern, isn't it? And as it moves, you can start to feel a bit more familiar. It's that typical musician device. If you introduce an idea, you repeat it to embed it in, and then the third time you change it. That's exactly what we've got here. All right. Now, we have arrived at the bar before V on the T snare. We've just got to finish the phrase, which is Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Try that for me. And 1. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Very nice. Let's do that all from. Let's go from 3 after you, please, basses. Qui salvandos. Okay, 3 and 4 and qui salvandos for 1, salvas gratis for 1, salvas gratis, rex tremendae majestatis. Fantastic. I'm getting such a rush from teaching this to you from all the times that I've sung the Mozart Requiem myself. Oh dear. For those of you that are learning it for the first time, I can promise you it's worth the effort when you get to sing this in the future, whether it's with us or whether it's in the same room as other people. Who imagine that? Every time you sing it, it just gets better and better and better. So enjoy. I hope you're having fun. So now we're at letter V, and here we swap round. So where the sopranos and altos before were singing the lovely long line, they now get the qui salvandos bit that we were doing, and we get this lovely, lovely long line that the ladies have just sung. So the tenors set off, and we follow singing, and this is the bar of V. 2, 3, Rex Tremendae Majestatis, Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Okay, now I know there's a lot packed in there. You know me, we're going to break it up into chunks. But first we'll just notice that lovely sequence. Da da da, 2, 3, da 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 da, 2, 3, da 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 da. It's a pattern, it's a sequence. So let's sing that together. Rex Tremendae from V. 2, 3. Rex Tremendae Majestatis, Rex Tremendae. Now there, it's different because it's the third time. All right, so I'm going to go from the last 2 notes of page 26. This is the last 2 notes of the third bar after V, Rex Tre. So this is the third time. It's 2, 3. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Okay, listen again, just on the piano, the last 2 notes of page 26 on my score. 2, 3. Okay, and given that that's an octave leap, and there for emphasis, make that heavy. Statis at the end. Let's sing that, please. This is the last Rex. This is Rex Tremendae. Last 2 notes of page 26 in my score. Third bar after V. 2, 3. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Very good. And then just to finish off, we sing Qui salvandos salvas gratis. Sing that for me. 1 and 2. Qui salvandos salvas gratis. Excellent. There, we're just punctuating the chord, so just make sure that's good and strong. Let's go back, shall we please, basses, and sing from the bar of V. Okay, Rex Tremendae. And now that we've introduced it, start to sing through the long notes. Okay, don't just sit there and Rex Tremendae, sing through. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Grow through. I've asked the tenors to do the same. Just imagine what that's going to be like with your voice coming through, and then the tenors, and then yours. It'll sound absolutely marvellous. Let's sing, please, from the bar of V. 2, 3.
Rex Tremendae Majestatis, Rex Tremendae Majestatis, qui salvandos salvas gratis.
Fabulous. Now we're at letter W here, just the last couple of bars of this movement. Sopranos and altos suddenly, from nowhere, after all of that grand singing, they beg for mercy. Salva me. And then we sing Salva me. Okay, so you sing almost exactly the same thing as the sopranos, 2 octaves apart, and you have an E flat on the way down, but otherwise it's the same pitches. Salva me. And notice it's quite savely. All right, let's sing that together. 3 and 4 and Salva me. Lovely, keep it lovely and gentle there. And then just to finish, we sing Salva me fons pietatis. All right, nice and straightforward. Let's sing that together. Deep breath and Salva me fons pietatis. All right. So let's sing it all the way through now, please, everyone. Now have a drink of water. Actually, I'm going to treat myself to a sip of coffee from my self-isolation choir mug. This is the special Ben version with "Be Upstanding" written on it. One of the advantages. All right, so have fun with this, basses. You've got all of these different characters. You've got the 3 big chords, okay, where we get to be full bore basses, and then we become part of the team. You know, it's like what this movement feels like to me. Not that I have experience of it, but it's like rowing on a longboat or something. Everyone's pulling together. And when other people are resting, other people are putting the energy in. So that give and take of the choral music in the middle is so important. And then at the end, it's got to be so shocking to suddenly go to Salva me. Okay, it's got to be a complete change at the end. So let's have some fun. Here we go. Take it away, Fieri. And so this is Lucy, Nancy, Tom, and David. Thank you, Mark. Deep breath, and 1, and Rex, and 1, and Rex, and 1, Rex, and 1, Rex Tremendae Majestatis. 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, salvas gratis. 4, 1, salvas gratis. Rex Tremendae Majestatis. 2, 3, Rex Tremendae Majestatis. Qui salvandos salvas gratis. And then really gentle basses and Salva me and Salva me fons pietatis. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. Well done. And there is some little harmonic information which I'll share with you on Monday basis. I've been telling everybody about the Neapolitan Sixth. I'll talk about it on Monday. You did a wonderful job there. Thank you. Splendid. So we've got one more movement to look at tonight, and it's the Recordare. And again, You'd never normally learn this when you learn the Mozart Requiem. At this point, the conductor goes, "Don't worry about this," straight on to the Confutatis, and you wouldn't hear it until concert day. And I just have so many fond memories of because as the conductor, obviously the choir are going to be interested, but the last thing you want is the entire choir sat behind the soloists with their scores, following along, and then all turning the pages noisily. So the number of times I've said, "Look, I completely understand why you're following along and I understand why you want to sing, but you need to sit with the scores in your laps until I tell you to stand." Well, with the self-isolation choir, we're going completely the other way. You are all now the soloists if you want to be. So enjoy this. And by the way, we take no responsibility for those of you who, in the dim and distant future, when you're singing with a face-to-face choir, say, "Well, we're singing with the soloists because Ben said it was all right." Only with self-isolation choir, all right? So this one, after all of the angst and all of the tension of the first few movements, this one is just pure love and pure relief. And if you think about the meaning of a Requiem Mass, it does all sorts of things. What it's supposed to do is to bring comfort as well. So this Recordare does exactly that, and I think of it particularly this opening, this da 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 dum da 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 dum da da da. It's like cascading water falling down, flowing down, perhaps to represent God's mercy. I don't know, but I asked Richard to give this movement some movement so that it had the feeling of flowing water. So we have that lovely introduction which Richard plays so beautifully. Letter E, the alto comes in on an F. Now we come in on a G, which instantly creates a clash. Not a nasty clash, but a nice clash. And so when you sing these long note spaces in your first phrase, sing through the note. You'll notice your first note lasts for a bar and a beat. So when that happens, you sing through the bar line to the beat that's sort of sticking out. So it will sound something like this. So from the bar after E, it's 2, 3.
Recordare Jesu pie.
All right, that first note I'm going to crescendo through so that by the time we get to the first beat of the next bar, the last beat of the note, I'm at my strongest and most confident sounding. So let's sing that together, basses. From the G, bar after E. 1, 2, 3.
Recordare Jesu pie.
All right, just one more time, please. Same place. After 3, 2, 3.
Recordare Jesu pie.
Okay, and appreciate that sounds a little bit odd, taken out of context, but when you hear it with the altos, you hear we are the yang to their yin, for example. All right, so we are the thing that completes that little phrase. Now, what follows is a little bit of interplay between the soprano and tenor, so we get a few bars of rest, and then letter G basses, which in my free score here is page 29. Yours may be different. We then lead the charge, if you like. Okay, so we sing 1.
Ne me perdas illa die.
Okay, so notice the first one, it's 2 Gs and then up, and the second one it's F, G, like that. Okay, so just with me from G, one more time. Ne me perdas, 2, 3, 1.
Ne me perdas
1.
illa die.
Thank you very much indeed. And at this point, by the way, the atmosphere changes from this nice light sound to a little air of is something amiss? You know, that the harmony, you get this. You think, is something about to go awry? We're about to go into a minor key. No, we're not, but we need to have just a little bit of that unease. So we lead that, I'm afraid, basses. All right, so that
Ne me perdas illa die.
little bit of an air of threat, and then to finish it off, it brings it back into the light.
Ne me perdas illa die.
All right, listen to that just on the piano. Okay, after 1, 2, 3, 1. right, I'll play and sing that for you. Sing it with me. This is the last Ne me perdas, 4 after G. 2, 3, 1.
Ne me perdas, perdas illa die.
Thanks, basses. Well done. Moving on. Now, at the top of the next page at letter H, basses, we sort of throw a... It's like throwing a ball to somebody. We sing 1,
Credence me,
and the tenors throw it back.
credence me.
All right, so it's just from the tonic to the dominant again. From H, please. After 1, 2, 3, 1.
Credence me.
Thank you. Make it a good, strong sound. Maybe a little bit of a bass frown. All right, basses, we're allowed to frown. That's part of, goes with the job. Okay, a bit of a serious bass face. And so then the tenor sings "Credence me," and the sopranos and altos they sing "So distillatus." Very beautiful little line in sixths. Then the tenors lead, and we sing
Redemisti.
All right, sing that for me, please. Basses, 2, 3.
Redemisti.
Very good. Thank you very much. And the sopranos and altos.
Crucem passus.
Now we get to letter I, and what we have here, basses, there's a number of names for the what's used here. Mozart uses something called a circle of fifths, and some of you know what that is. Well, you certainly know what the definition is. For those of you who don't, well, you do, because it's this. I'll do it again. Noticing it just go round. Okay, and that's why it's the circle of fifths. And we lead that basis, so we sing
Tantus labor non sit casus.
Okay, now those are all fifths. This one, you recognise this? Those of you who sang Elijah. There's your diminished fifth, your augmented fourth. All right, so it is still a fifth. It's just a little bit unexpected, so just be careful of that one. Let's sing all 4 together. Tantus. All right, with me. 1, 2, 3.
Tantus labor non sit casus.
Excellent, thank you. And then to finish off, we sing
Tantus labor non sit casus.
Sing that with me, please, basses. 2, 3.
Tantus labor non sit casus.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, basses. So, where are we now? At the top of page 31. Please do hydrate yourselves. Thank you. Excellent. Lots of people enjoying themselves. Fabulous. Lots and lots of sopranos. The basses sing the E flat on Salva me. Yes, Josh, we do.
Salva me.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. And yes, we do. For those who are in any way asking, that's from the previous movement. Okay, so at the top of page 31 in my free score, we've got letter K and the sopranos and tenors. They had this rather nice little hemiola rhythm. Da 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 da. There. We come in with this same figure that we had before. Do you remember we sang what was it before? It was Ne me perdas on the previous page. It's the same figure. It's just a bit lower here. Ante diem. And so we sing 1.
Ante diem rationis. Ante diem rationis.
It's exactly the same shape. Obviously the words are different, but musically the pitches are in the same places, just they are a bit lower. Okay, makes it easier to sing. So follow this along with me. This is 2 notes before letter L, bottom of page 31. 2, 3, 1.
Ante diem rationis. Ante diem rationis.
All right. right, thank you so much, basses. As I said, that's the same pitches that we sang before, just a little lower, which, as I said, makes it easier for us to sing. We're now at the middle of page 32, Ingemisco tanquam reus. This is a really satisfying bit to sing because it's the first time that all four parts are used together in what we call a homophonic texture. And so homophony, polyphony, I've said this before when we were working on Messiah and Vivaldi. Phony refers to sound. Mono is one, monophonic, one sound, so that's everyone in unison. Polyphonic is overlapping. Think the Kyrie fugue, all these different voices coming in at different times. Homophony is chords, so think hymns, or in this case, what we've got here. Tanquam reus. Okay, so everyone's singing the same words in the same rhythm but with different pitches. So it's the first time in this movement we've had this. And so what we do is we take the dynamic down a little bit. We don't want to belt this bit. And we have a bit of a call and response going on between the phrases. This is what I mean. So we get this. In gemisco tanquam reus. Culpa rubet vultus meus, supplicanti pace Deus. All right, so all of the higher notes, I'm going to say they're high notes, but all of the stuff in the upper register, big and clear and very, very clarion-like, as if we're brass instruments there. And then the lower notes, which are in the bottom of our register, I always like to sing them in quite a dark way. Tanquam reus. Okay, there's a little bit of character. So make the higher notes bright and clear, and so that can be daylight, and then the answering phrases can be stuff carried on after dark. Okay, sneaky stuff. So let's sing Ingemisco from M. It sounds like this. 2, 3, 1. Ingemisco tanquam reus. Let's do that one more time. 2, 3, 1. Ingemisco tanquam reus. And then culpa rubet vultus meus. Let's sing those. Culpa rubet. 2, 3, 1. Culpa rubet vultus meus. Well done. And then supplicanti. Okay, and that obviously is a top D, and everyone is at their highest. Tenors are on Fs, altos are on B flat, sopranos are on a G. So this is a bit louder here, so you can make that louder. Supplicanti, and then pace Deus. Nice and dark to answer. Let's go, please, back to Ingemisco, middle of page 32. How are we doing? Doing very nicely, actually. Just over, was it 3 pages to go? Bravo. So we're going to go from M, Ingemisco. Anyone else who's here? Sopranos, there's your note. Altos, tenors, basses. Let's sing. 2, 3, 1. Ingemisco tanquam reus. Culpa rubet vultus meus. Supplicanti pace Deus. Fabulous. Thank you, basses. Well done. So what follows is a little bit of interaction with the sopranos and the tenors and the altos, and we just come in at the very end. So we let them say what they need to say. We just sort of lean around the corner and go, yeah. All right. So the last phrase is Mi quoque spem dedisti. Listen to it. Okay, let me do that one more time without playing a wrong note. Let's sing that. And by the way, some people are asking, is it mi-he or mi-ki? I don't want a hard k. It's kind of a cross between the two. Mi-he. Think of the h in Bach. Okay, mihi quoque. It needs to have a little bit of... a conductor of mine once said it's an H with bones. Mihi. Okay, I don't want a hard k, but I want somewhere in between. And if in doubt, just sing the H sound. Okay, so let's have that together. Mihi quoque spem dedisti. Ready? 1, 2. Mihi quoque spem dedisti.
petisti.
Fantastic. And we're down to the last 2 pages. And so we're now looking at bottom of page 33, letter O. And this is all derived from the material at the start of the movement. So we get this same... It's truncated, it's shorter here. So let me play and sing for you from the bar after O. Preces me non sunt digne. Okay, 2, 3.
Preces me non sunt digne.
Okay, rhythmically it's a little bit unexpected because we have this hemiola rhythm where we go 1 2 3 or 1 2 1 2 1 2. That happens in the 3rd and 4th bar of your phrase there, in the 4th and 5th bars after O. So just watch out there. Me non sunt digne. All right, let me play and sing that for you one more time from O. 2 3.
Preces me non sunt digne.
All right, and just when you get to digne, okay, just make sure that's nice and dignified, okay, round it off nicely at the end. Splendid. About a page and a half to go. No, yeah, about a page to go. Then on page 34, sopranos and tenors, they finish off that. And then a wonderful bit for everybody. Ne perenne. Again, this homophonic texture. The orchestra in the middle of page 34, 5 before P, they play. And we sing
Ne perenne cremedigne.
Okay, we get our note from the orchestra. Very generous of Mozart to do that for us. So we get a B and we sing Ne perenne with me, and 1 Ne perenne, and then
cremedigne.
All right, let's sing those 2 together. 5 before P, Ne perenne. I'll just play the orchestra part because it's fun. 2 3 1.
Ne perenne
Excellent. And then we're back down, sort of creeping around in the mud a little bit here, basses. At P we sing
Inter oves locum presta et abedis me questra.
And you might think that's familiar. You should, because we've sung it twice before already, and all he's done is he's transposed it right down to the bottom of our register. So follow it along again. So inter oves from P, 2 3 1.
Inter oves locum presta et abedis me sequestra. Now, if you don't have a happy bottom F, we'll go up to the F above, and that's absolutely fine. And then we have just 2 more phrases to learn. And the good news is that they are almost entirely identical, all right? The soprano comes in just before Q on that F, and then the tenors and altos come in on the first beat of Q, and we come in on the 3rd beat on that note, okay? And our line is, after Q, 1, 2, statuens in parte dextra. Okay, so we rise from the B flat, up the scale, and then down to the home note. So sing that with me. Star, 1, 2, statuens in parte dextra. Lovely. Nice tall mouth on the de, please, so that it's nice and shapely, and land carefully on the F. All right, stra. We want a nice gymnastic landing, all right, rather than the sudden sort of bag of bricks. All right, so let's do that one more time. Just before Q, we get that start and statuens in parte dextra. And then we do it again. It's almost identical. See if you can spot the difference. Statuens in parte dextra. Did you spot it? Of course you did. The octave leap at the end. That's the only difference. So sing me that last phrase. Statuens. 1, 2. Statuens in parte dextra. extra. And there you have it, basses. Well done. Goodness me. There's a lot to take in there. And if it's your first time singing this wonderful, wonderful piece, you'd be forgiven for thinking, goodness me, there's a lot to do. Remember, we are doing the XL version. As I said to Mark, this is the gear edition where you get to do all the solos as well. So well done. Seriously, well done. If you've managed to keep up with any of that, there's a lot to take on board. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to sing it all the way through. And remember, all of this is saved for you. So come back over the weekend, sing it a couple of times, sing along with your recordings. There are so many out there to choose from. And if you don't like the recording or listen to, just choose another one. They're all really, really good. And then, of course, on Monday, we're going to sing these movements all together, and we're going to look at next week. I promise you, basses, if you've enjoyed today, next week's even better, because we've got the Confutatis, which is just the best bit in the Mozart Requiem for the basses and tenors, bar none. The Lacrimosa, which is beyond moving. It's going to reduce all of us to tears. And then Domine Jesu, which is just a complete laugh. So much fun to be had. A rollicking piece to enjoy. So lots of fun to enjoy next week. But before we can get to that and our weekend, we're going to sing this all the way through. So thank you so much, basses. The last thing we're going to sing today. So do please hydrate yourselves. And let's have some fun. Steve has said, bag of bricks indeed. Exactly, that's what we don't want to do, Steve. Here we go, everyone. Here's the Recordare. This is cascading mercy from above. Manna from heaven. Here we go. Okay, we've got 3 bars before we're in basses. 2, 1, 2, 3. Well done. Ready? And well done. Okay, nice and bright here. And 1. Okay. And okay, here's your circle of fifths. And sopranos, tenors. Ready? And 1. Okay, remember the 2 different characters here, high and low. Deep breath, and 1. Now dark. And 1. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well done. 3, 1.
E perenni
And 1.
Emerie
And 1.
inter ovest ocum presta et abedis sequestra
1, 2.
stat lens in parte dextra
1, 2.
stat lens in parte dextra.
Thanks so much, Basses. It's a huge pleasure, as always, to see you on a Friday, because when I finish, well, it means that we've got another week in the bag, and it's always good to finish where my voice is most comfortable. So thanks ever so much for your company tonight. I hope you enjoyed those 3 movements. As I said, you don't normally get to sing those, and so it's a real, well, you get to sing the Rex Tremendae, but you know what I mean. It's a real treat for me to get to teach it to you as a choir. So thanks so much for coming along tonight. Have a great weekend. As I say, if you get a chance, listen to this recording, listen to Monday, because that's where you get the full choir mix. Of course, we've also released the one voice louder parts and so on. So make use of those resources between now and Monday. We'll sing everything that we've done so far on Monday, and then we're going to look at these 3 movements: the Confutatis, Lacrimosa, and Domine Jesu. It really doesn't get any better than this. So thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Do take care, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye, folks. All the best.